The alpha server is live once again, and of course there's more and more testing being held in the run-up to Spider Slayer Tier 5 being released. And Spider Slayer looks really quite interesting nowadays, much different to how it looked prior to this alpha. One of the most infamous weapons in Hypixel Skyblock is the Juju shortbow. Along with the Terminator, it was one of the very first of its kind, and also revolutionised bows in Hypixel Skyblock altogether. But today, oh today, I didn't quite have a chance to test this new bow out on the previous alpha. But fortunately, we've got another roll of the dice. I present the new Juju shortbow. Does this mean that they're now technically mosquito nons rather than Juju nons? There's a new shortbow on the block to rival the Juju, and well, let's see how good it is. Let's see if those Juju nons are going to be trembling in the boots and having to fork out 30 million coins for this weapon. Well, I say 30 mil. It might be a bit more on release. But how does it fare compared to its established counterpart? But just before we do, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. You should join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We offer Slayers and Dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. Yeah, also, you should subscribe. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken the Spirit shortbow, I've taken the Juju shortbow, and I've also here got the Mosquito shortbow. So we've got the Juju non's favourite, the Juju non's cheaper option, and the Juju non's slightly more expensive option. I've tried to make them all as even as I can. Now, the only difference here is that we have Soul Eater 3 on this Juju shortbow, and I can't really get another Juju shortbow. And in addition to that, I can't remove the Soul Eater enchantment, which is really annoying. However, yeah, we're just going to have to work with it. But everything else is the same. I've let the game fully upgrade all the items, as you say. And when we compare the base stats between the Juju shortbow and the Mosquito shortbow, it's actually quite interesting, because the Juju still has more base damage. The Mosquito shortbow has substantially more strength. The Mosquito shortbow has pretty substantially less crit damage, but not as substantial as the difference between the strength. And then the crit chance is kind of secondary. Now, both bows have the same shot cooldown as well. But something that's really cool is the Mosquito shortbow has a base vitality of 20. 20 vitality is actually pretty huge. And its left click ability, a Nasty Bite, shoot an enhanced shot. The shot deals plus 19% damage and heals you for 2 times the mana spent. Mana cost 11%. That also sounds pretty decent. Now, there was talk of this bow having its own unique reforge, almost similar to, you know, putting warped on an aspect at the end, or gilded on a Midas sword. But as far as I'm aware, I can't see it in the game. It's not in Centuri's menu, and it's not really anywhere that I can find. So there is a possibility that there may be a specific reforge for this, but at the moment, it doesn't seem to be here. Okay, first of all, testing with our Spirit shortbow. The damage we deal is 541k, 362, 370. Do you see how laggy the server is at the moment? It's crazy. Moving on to our Juju shortbow, and the damage is 1.2 million, 1.2. That was definitely an outlier. 1.2, it seems to be about right. And then if we move on to our Mosquito shortbow, if we come over here. And now with the Mosquito shortbow, the damage we deal is around about 1,050,000, which is actually pretty decently lower than the Juju. Now we have to test out the Mosquito bow's left click ability, because this seems pretty huge if I'm being honest. So what we should see is more damage and then also better healing. So we'll see. As for the damage, we're doing about 1.05 usually, and then if we use our left click, we're doing 1.2, which is, well, then basically the same damage as the equivalent Juju, which is pretty cool to see. Now, of course, not only do we get base vitality, the left click ability also gives us better healing when we actually hit the left click ability. So I need to take a bit of damage first. Right, so we've taken our armor off so we can actually take damage. And let's see if we can notice any better healing. I mean, it heals for a decent amount actually per... Oh yeah, that's really good. That's really quite good. Not bad at all. Now, what's good about the ability is it isn't a set mana cost, it's a percentage of your total mana. Now, of course, that doesn't mean you can left click an unlimited amount of times, because you will just eventually run out of mana. If you see here, it won't shoot until I have mana to then actually use. It's a bit of a strange one, but it makes sense that they've done it that way. But of course, the question that everybody has the right to be asking Is this mosquito shotbow better? Is it better than the famous Juju? And to put it simply, the Juju has around about 60 better base damage. The mosquito shotbow has around about 110 better strength. And the mosquito shotbow has around about 70 better crit damage. So just from looking at those base stats, you can sort of already assume that the Juju shotbow is going to slightly outdamage it, which on every other right click, it does. Especially with them having the same shot cooldown. But of course, there's other perks with the mosquito shotbow that you don't get with the Juju, such as the base 20 vitality, which is really useful in terms of survivability, and its left click damage, which makes its damage very, very similar to that of the Juju shotbow, and also means that you heal faster, which is also really good. Now, it's saying that at the moment the current lowest bin for this mosquito shotbow is 35 mil. Well, that doesn't really mean anything. It could really be anything when it actually releases. If we look at how we craft it, we need digested mosquito, which will be going up and up in price. At the moment, they're about 1.5 mil, which is substantially more than they usually are. You need 3 stacks of tarantula silk, which is roughly about 32.5 million. And then you've got your enchanted iron, which is practically free. So when it releases, yeah, it's probably going to be maybe 50 million coins, maybe even higher. But maybe after a week or so, that is going to drop very quickly. Probably to a price relatively similar to the Juju shortbow. And to be honest, I don't really think there is a definitive answer to this. The Juju shortbow does more damage straight up. Like, there's not really any debate there. You can kind of tell that's going to be the case before you even test it. However, the vitality and the left click ability from the mosquito shortbow is also a massive perk. I think for me, the mosquito shortbow is probably going to be more useful for more players, considering the damage difference isn't huge. It's probably around about somewhere between 5 to 10% difference. And also, you've just simply got better survivability with the mosquito shortbow, which I feel like is probably more useful for the players that are going to be using that bow. But at the end of the day, that's just my opinion, and I think it's pretty difficult to definitively say which bow is better. You can say in terms of damage, it's going to be the Juju, but for everything else, yeah, that's kind of for you to make your mind up. Now, there's also some other pretty interesting items that are being tested on the alpha at the moment that were being tested previously. But for instance, the Primordial, which is it's a belt, it's a piece of equipment, and it's pretty good, to be completely honest. It's pretty damn good. It's giving 15 strength and 20% crit damage at base, which is already really strong. And its ability means that when killing a Slayer boss or mini-boss, have a 10% chance to cocoon them. Cocooned enemies will quickly hatch and can be killed again, which basically means that you've got 2 bosses for the price of 1 without having to spawn the boss again. Now, of course, that's only a 10% chance. It's a 1 in 10. That will add up, and then actually really, really cool idea. It's not related to the mosquito shortbow, but I just thought it'd be interesting to share. Most of you have probably already seen it now anyway. But is this the new Juju non-setup? Are those Juju shortbows trembling in the boots, or are they safe? Let me know in the comments. But that's going to be all for today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.